Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated, and for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, only take you a second and it would be much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and share this video if you would. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is possibly the worst cookbook on Amazon. Maybe you could enlighten me, but this is it. And I've crossed out the title for obvious reasons and the person's name, and I'll go into details why that is in a little minute. Right, okay, this book was given to me to see if I had any interest or any thoughts on it or any use for it. And yeah, I had to, it's not that I wanted to tear it apart, because God bless anybody who's starting out needs as much advice as they can get. If they're not ready for any advice, then it's really up to them how the book goes. And this was a disaster, and it could have been so much more, because it came out in 2020, and that was before or during the start of the rage for these air fryers, and it would have been perfectly placed not so long ago to really take the market if a little bit more time and effort had been put into it. And it appears that hardly any time and effort had been put into it, which is a real shame. And what we're going to do is, it's supposed to be 575 affordable, easy recipes. Well, there's just over 100 recipes in the book. And if I just give you a quick look from there, you can see that there's no images. There's not a lot of anything, and I'm just going to tell you what it's missing altogether. Now, it's only had 17 ratings and reviews altogether. Now, for a book that went out in 2020, that could have had the potential, that's a real shame. And when you look at these reviews, they're all over the place. There's absolutely nothing there. The 1 stars are almost level with the 5 stars, and those 5 stars are ratings and not reviews, whereas the only reviews we've got are pretty bad ones. There's a 3-star one, which isn't so bad. Fun puzzle book, and we'll go into why they've said it's a fun puzzle book in a minute, because it is puzzling. It's leaving the reader to guess or to search for the recipe in the book. Whole thing needs proofreading. Yep, absolutely. Cook on 4,000. Preheat air fryer to 3,700 Fahrenheit. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine what the food would come out like if you could get a temperature up to that? Put ingredients into Ninja Foodie Cook Pot. No pictures and no page numbers. Actually, there's a lot of errors. There's an awful lot of errors in this review. So maybe this review could do with proofreading. We go to the next one. Terrible recipe book. You have to search for what you want. That's true. There's no indexing, no page numbers. There's no indexing whatsoever. It's like someone slapped together some recipes. If I had known this beforehand, I would not have purchased it. Okay, there's another review. This was a 3-star. Recipes are good, and the ones we have tried were delicious. But they gave it a 3 stars, so now I'm guessing that's a genuine review, as are the others. The recipes are good, but there aren't any chapters or page numbers. It would be more convenient to have chapters focused on each food group. And we go to the last one here. There's only 4. The table of contents is just a list of topics with no page number reference. Just as well as the pages are not numbered. The whole thing is an amateur job. So that's a real shame right there. If you look at the dates of these reviews, August 2020, and I've got another one here for 2020, December 2020. When it came out in 2020, those first reviews should have been looked at. The whole thing needs proofreading. If they had access to KDP themselves and their manuscript, they should have edited the whole thing. They should have gone over it, proofread it. But then again, if they'd noticed or they were going to react on a review like this, they'd have corrected their mistakes in the first place. They would never have got to that stage. The recipes are good, so that's a real shame. It's a real shame. So let's just have a look at the first pages when we open it. This is the index. Air fryer eggplant fries. Air fryer sweet and sour pork. Air fryer, air fryer, air fryer. There's no need to put an air fryer. before the title of the recipe, before the recipe name, because you've purchased an air fryer bulk. So there's no need to do that. And as we go down, it changes from air fryer to actually the name of the recipe without the air fryer, and then goes back to air fryer. It's not that those recipes aren't made in the air fryer, because they are. The air fryer recipes, if you like. Yeah, that's a real mess. This here, the gutter, there is no gutter. So when you open the page, as I do here, you're having to pull the page right back to get it. What's in the gap here? There should be a deeper gutter margin. Not so much on the outside, that's fine. But this one here needs a deep gutter margin. Also along this side, no numbers. Not a single number. Not a single page number, or number even. So you could have, if that's the first recipe, you would have 1 eggplant fries and the page number. 2 sweet and sour pork and the page number. There's none of that. Nothing. There's no way of actually being able to work out, which is just as well, because there's no page numbers anyway, as you can see here at the bottom. Not a single page number. So you've got to try to go through the whole book to figure out where this recipe is. Now, I'm not trying to tear the author apart, and it's a real shame. I'm trying to help. Right, okay, so we'll go to the last one. Now, this is the first recipe in the book, and it's awful. It's awful. Look at all these errors. You've got small-sized eggplant, a small-sized eggplant. How about a small eggplant? It just seems so bizarre. Okay, it doesn't want to use full stops, that's fine. There's not used full stops on all of them. So at least there's some consistency there. But you really, ideally, want to put a full stop there at the end of each recipe title. 1 cut zucchini, lowercase, and then they've hyphenated the 1 and cut. I mean, what is that? What are you supposed to make of that? 1 cut? Cut what? Cut in half? Chopped? Even if you was to get past the hyphenation there, how would you do it? How would you create that zucchini? Medium diced tomato. So, you're presuming it's 1 medium diced tomato because of tomato. But again, there's no capital to start with, yet there is on some of the others. Not all of them. And this is the inconsistency with it. Half a large-sized diced yellow bell pepper. Half a large diced yellow bell pepper would have done. And then again, large-sized diced onions cut into half. Diced onions cut in half. Is that diced? And then the dices, the individual diced bits of onion cut in half? It's really crazy the way this is done. 5 sprigs fresh basil. Now you've used of and whatever here, but there's nothing here. Sprigs fresh basil. On the line above it, you've got 1, the word 1. This one's number 5. Inconsistencies again. A clove of crushed garlic. So that's fine. That's not so bad, but it doesn't go with the others. Black pepper grounded. Black pepper grounded. So how much black pepper? Again, it's not got a capital at the start. How much black pepper? How about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon or whatever? Like 5 grams of black pepper, of ground black pepper. So you see, this would make so much sense. It's as though the person doesn't understand English at all. And maybe they don't, but I don't know. A pinch salt. Olive oil, lowercase, 1 tablespoon. Now what we've got here is we've got 1 tablespoon. A tablespoon should be 1 word, because underneath we've got 1 tablespoon. Tablespoon is 1 word. And then underneath that we've got tablespoon separated into syllables again. And again all the way down here, lowercase. Yeah, a pinch of salt is a capital. Okay, so let's get on to this bit. First of all, heat the air fryer. It should be preheat the air fryer. Or you could just switch it on to 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, imagine. I mean, simple mistakes like that, or 2000 degrees Celsius. Now they've made the mistake there with the 4000. Okay, you've put an extra zero on, but then they've gone and done it with the 2000. You could have almost let them get away with the 4000, but not when they put 2000 after that. And we go on. Pour the basil. And underneath that, we've got spray some little olive oil. Spray some little olive oil. And the last one, I had to stop there, could have gone on. This is still the first recipe on the first page of the recipes. 8 minutes, 8 in brackets, followed by minutes. Underneath that, 8 minutes, 8 not in brackets, but attached to the minutes, like all one word. So as you can see, it's a real mess, but the potential was good. You know, there's lots of good recipes in it. I've been through it and I've thought, yeah, there's some great recipes in there, but there's no images. There's no structure to the whole thing. There's no page numbers, no indexing, no nothing. Right, so this same thing applies to all to-do books. And it could be plumbing, it could be carpentry, it could be a list of things, hobbies or anything. It's important to start the book off with some form of either information about the subject that you're writing about. It needs to have a proper indexing system, a proper table of contents with the number, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can have that if you want, and then the page numbering. And it has to have that. There's no way. And your pages need to have a number on them so they can go to those pages instead of having to search through the whole thing. And then there's the case of spell checking and proofreading. And I've mentioned this so many times in my videos, and the need for proofreading. Not just somebody you know, go over it for me type of thing, or a family member. You need a book proofreading. If it's not something you do normally, then you need a professional to look at it, and it's worth the money. It really is. You know, for a book of this size, you could be talking maybe $100, $150 for a proofreader to go over it. But the money that could come back to you from the sales of the book are worth it. Yeah, like I say, the whole point of this isn't to tear someone apart. It's not them personally. But if this has been a copy and paste from another book, where's that other book? How many of those other books are there? So, you know, it can affect things. People doing stuff like this can really affect other people's work that could be really good. So anyway, it's Sunday morning, and that's a little bit of a rant and a bit of a, hopefully it might help you. Go over my videos, there's tons of them, it really is, and you'll get all the help you need to stop this, to not do this. And anyway, yeah, it's Sunday, so I've got my grandson later overnight, so really looking forward to that. And he's got a new den just above here. So yeah, thank you.